Hello and welcome back, audience. My name is MassiveBrad and welcome back to Season 2 of the FIFA 20 Dortmund Career Mode. Now, before we get into today's episode, I just want to say a huge big thank you for loving sport on the channel. And as always, guys, at the start of today's episode, we're quickly going to look at the games that lie ahead. Now, unfortunately, we can only see 3 of the potential 5 games that are going to be in today's episode. We are in the Invitational Cup. We are in Season 2 with Dortmund and about to kick off our pre-season journey. We are playing against Leicester City, Lyon, and also Napoli in today's episode. But if we do manage to get through from these stages, we'll then have the semi-finals against the team and then also the finals. But as we see the games that do lie ahead of us, I'm going to do what I usually do because obviously we need to get at least 2 out of the 3 wins to get through to the semi-finals of the Invitational Cup. So I'm going to simulate the Leicester game. If we get the win, I'll simulate the Lyon game. If we get the win, I'll play the Napoli game, then simulate the semi-finals and play the finals. Because, of course, if I play the Leicester game and play the Lyon game and then we lose against Napoli, that's fair enough. We'll still go through, but then we have to risk simulating the semi-finals and the final. But one thing I'm going to say with the Dortmund career mode, I'm not too focused on winning the pre-season tournament. If we get knocked out, we get knocked out, because realistically at the start of pre-season a lot of the big players are away with their international teams, so we're really going to have to rotate the team quite a bit. But that is how I'm going to play it out. We're going to simulate Leicester. If we lose to Leicester, I may risk playing the game against Lyon just to try and get us that win, then do the simulated game against Napoli. But as long as we can get 3 or 6 points out of these 3 games, I'm hoping that it might be able to get us through to the semi-finals, and then from there we'll simulate the semi-finals and hope to get through to the finals. But it could end up that we play the game against Lyon and we simulate the rest of the games and unfortunately get knocked out, and that is exactly, just unfortunately sometimes, how it ends up being. Now, I haven't watched right through the last episode, which was episode 19, which was season 1, the finale. It was called The Final Showdown and Fan Objectives. But it did bring to my attention a couple of things that we do need to talk on at the start of season 2 and the start of today's episode. Because, of course, last season we did do fan objectives. And unfortunately, it's been that long to my notes. By the time you guys are seeing this, it's been 98 days since I uploaded a Dortmund career mode episode, which is just madness. But since then, I've moved house. I'm in a brand new house. We've had COVID-19. We've had riots in America. All crazy things are going on in the world right now. And to think that the last episode was only 98 days ago and all those things have changed and all these things are happening right now, it's a very crazy world that we do live in right now. But as I jump over to my other screen, the last episode was called The Final Showdown and Fan Objectives. And one thing I want to touch up on first, which I will try and put on screen for you guys if I can find the file somewhere, but it's the fan objectives. And we had 6 of them. We had Super Mario, Academy Graduate, Top Striker, Roman Soldier, European Top 8, and Teenager Growth. And I'll explain what these were. So they were the titles of each fan objective. And what we had to do, oh sorry, I can't see that because I've got crosses over it, but I'll try and work out. I think it was score 15 goals and assists with Mario Götze. So that was Super Mario. There's an X through that, meaning we failed. So if we look over, for Super Mario, if I didn't complete the fan objective, the forfeit or giveaway was to eat an entire barrel of toxic waste. I did that in the very last episode, in episode 19. I ate the barrel of toxic waste, a full bottle, or a full barrel, should I say. Wow, it got rid of my senses for food for at least 24 hours. Anything I drunk or ate, it had no taste. My tongue was on fire, it was burning, it was bleeding. No good. But I did do that fan objective for you guys. I did do it on camera in the last episode. Next one was Academy Graduate, and that was to play Royce or Mario Götze in every single Bundesliga game. We managed to complete that, meaning I didn't have to do the forfeit or giveaway. Had I not completed that objective, we would have had to swap Jadon Sancho for Kevin Grosskreutz in a direct swap. Well, luckily enough for us, we're going to get to keep Jadon Sancho for another season at Dortmund. Moving over, we got Top Striker, and that was to score 25 goals in all competitions with Paco Alcacer. We managed to complete that one, and if I didn't complete that one, I had to sing Glory, Glory, and there's a team in the Premier League in Manchester that their team name then follows that. Luckily enough, we completed Top Striker, meaning I don't have to sing that song, and I am so glad I don't have to sing that song. Next one was Roman Soldier, and it was keep, I do believe, 30 clean sheets with Roman Berkey. We failed this one. We didn't complete 30 clean sheets. So I have to give away a hoodie from my clothing line. Now, I haven't checked to see if I did that in the last video, but I'm thinking for the giveaway stuff, I hadn't done that yet. So in the next episode, which will be episode 21, if I haven't give away the prizes that I should have, I'm going to roll an automatic number generator. So between episode 1 and episode 19, so that was the whole of season 1, a random number is going to be picked between 1 and 19, and then I'm going to go to that episode, and I'm just going to randomly pick one of you guys that left a comment on that episode. So let's say episode 8, or number 8 comes up. I'm going to go to episode 8, I'm going to look through the comment section and randomly pick one of you guys. So if you have left a comment on pretty much nearly every video, then you're in with a great chance to potentially win a hoodie from my clothing brand. Next one was European top 8, and it was reached the last 8, reached the quarterfinals of the Champions League. We managed to do this. If I didn't, I would have had to have ate a Carolina Reaper. That would have absolutely ruined me. The fact I just done toxic waste and then would have had to potentially eat a Carolina Reaper, which is one of the hottest chilies in the world. Luckily enough, we completed it. We did win the Champions League in season 1 at Dortmund. Unfortunately, didn't manage to win the Bundesliga, and that is what we'll be focusing on this year. We'll be focusing more on the Bundesliga than the Champions League in season 2 at Dortmund. And the last one was teenager growth, and that was grow a youth academy player by 8 and play them in at least 5 games. We sadly failed this one. We grew them by enough, but we didn't play them in enough games, which means I now have to give away a t-shirt and bag from my clothing brand. So in front of me, I need to give away a hoodie, a t-shirt, and a string bag. Now, after I've recorded this episode, I will watch that video and see what I said about giving away this stuff. If I've said exactly how I have now, which is I'm going to do a random number picker, it's going to pick a number, I'm then going to go to that episode and pick one, then I'll do that and I will announce it in episode 21 of who the winners are, and we'll either get in touch on Twitter or Instagram so I can get your guys' postal addresses and we'll get them shipped out to you. You also need to get your sizes and what colour and stuff you want, but I will make sure to do that in the next episode. Now, normally I would read through the comments and we'd discuss it. I'm briefly going to run through these because I know today's episode is going to be slightly longer than usual because we've had to go over the fan objectives. We've had to obviously kick off season 2 and do the whole Invitational Cup. And I also need to get through your guys' comments. One thing I will say at the start of today's episode, if you guys want me to sign anyone while we're still in the summer transfer window, definitely leave a comment down below of who you think I should sign. We are going to be signing Haaland up top for Dortmund. We will be looking to bring him in season 2. We unfortunately couldn't in season 1 because he just recently moved. But in season 2, because he is now a current Dortmund player and they have signed him in real life, we of course will bring him into play at striker. So if you're thinking Haaland, don't worry about it. He's already going to be on the list and will be on number 1 transfer target. But if there's anyone else you'd like me to sign, please do drop a comment down below letting me know who. And with Dortmund, it doesn't have to be realistic. With the Liverpool career mode, because I support them, because I know a lot about them, I try and keep it realistic. With Dortmund, we can sign whoever we like as long as they are within budget. Scrolling down, so the first one coming in from Chris Duda saying, wow, Brad, the clothing and the bags look pretty dope. Love the series as always. Can't wait for season 2. Chris, first of all, I know you're a massive Dortmund fan and you helped me a lot through season 1 of the Dortmund career mode. I'm hoping you're going to be here for season 2 of the Dortmund career mode because I need your help. I need your expertise on who you think I should sign. And also, thank you so much. I'm glad that you do think the bags, t-shirts, the clothing in its general looks pretty dope. I appreciate that. Ethan saying, thank you so much for this amazing season. On to something new. No, Ethan, we're doing season 2 at Dortmund. We're doing season 2 at Liverpool. Then we're on to something new. Starboy, keep it coming. Great content. I'm sorry it's been 98 days, but it is back now. We have been uploading the Liverpool career mode as well. It's been a little bit longer than expected to actually be getting back to the Dortmund career mode, but it's back now. 98 days. Doesn't matter if it's 100 days, 5 days, it's back, and I'm ready to grind it out. Charlie says, champions, what an episode, bro. And what a way to round off the season. Very brave to face those toxic wastes, not going to lie, although your reaction did have me in stitches. Bring on season 2. Well, yes, we were champions of the Champions League, which was great. Not a bad start. Unfortunately, as we did finish the season, though, even after winning Champions League, we were rated an overall 69 manager. Now, then you have to do those 2 months where you simulate and there's no games. You're just pretty much skipping time until you come into July and come into the new season. We fell from a 69 to a 64. And as I was looking at us being a 64 rating, I do remember mentioning that There is a potential, ladies and gentlemen, that we get sacked at Dortmund in Season 2. Our rating is now so low. If the board do decide in 2 episodes, 5 episodes, 10 episodes to sack us, the Dortmund career mode will finish. We won't be starting again, redoing the save, trying not to get sacked. If we get sacked, the Dortmund career mode comes to an end. I can't help it. I mean, to win the Champions League, we were 81 overall manager, won the Champions League, and dropped to a 69. I don't know what EA are playing at. I don't know why FIFA does this, but we did drop to a 69. Then you play about 2 months with no games. You're just advancing in time. And then I've dropped to a 64. I'm pretty sure we are on the crisp of getting sacked by the Dortmund board of directors. There's not much you can do, ladies and gentlemen, but if we do get sacked, unfortunately, that does mean the Dortmund career mode is over. So I'm going to have to buck up my ideas and try and start growing that rating back up into the 80s. Mohammed says, what difficulty are you playing on? I am playing on, it's not world class, it's not legendary, it's ultimate. I am playing on ultimate difficulty. But if you're also playing on ultimate difficulty and you're struggling, make sure to check out my FIFA 20 how to fix ultimate difficulty, and it should be able to help you out and get you back to your winning ways. And the last comment coming in from Charlie saying, go for Palacios, however you pronounce his name, in the transfer window. He's a CM but can also play right mid and cam. He'd be a solid backup for Sancho, as his base rating is 78 and he has a high potential. Think he plays for Bayer Leverkusen, but may have moved. I signed him in my career mode, got him to a 93, so definitely worth a look. Well, we'll certainly add him in the next episode to the transfer list. And I think Charlie's talking about signing a right mid, because unfortunately we do have Jadon Sancho there, and the backup was Torgan Hazard. Coming to the end of Season 1, Torgan Hazard handed in his transfer request. Now, we will just check out whether his transfer request is still handed in. Let's go down to right mid players. Right mid, Torgan Hazard. Status is transfer listed. If I try and remove him, I can't remove him. That's because he's handed in his transfer request. So potentially we may have to look at selling Torgan Hazard, not out of any fault of ours. His form's good. He was pretty happy towards the end of Season 1. He's now content. We'll get that back up to very happy. But unfortunately, he's handed in his request. He just wants to leave. There's not much we can do. So I'm thinking a right-midded player may be someone that we have to bring in. So to give you guys an example there, if you're thinking about putting a transfer down below, we're already bringing in a new striker. I'll add him into the transfer list in today's episode, which is going to be Haaland. But I'm thinking a right-midded player could potentially be a must if we do unfortunately have to sell on Torgan Hazard. So we just looked over a couple of things that I needed to do before we got into the Leicester game. And obviously I cut that stuff out so you guys don't have to see it. But I'll just bring you up to date with what we've done. I've added a few players now to the transfer hub. Now, we already had quite a few players still added from Season 1, like Ricardo Pereira, but we ended up bringing in Lucas Klosterman. We've still got Yuri Tielemans there. Haaland was already on the list. He did move to Red Bull Salzburg. We can now pick him up. He is approachable to buy, which we'll certainly be buying him in either, well, probably the next episode. There's a lot to do in today's episode. We've already got Coke on the list, Correa and Sarr to, of course, come in case Torgan Hazard does depart the club. And then I've also added Hakimi, who was on loan in Season 1 to Dortmund from Real Madrid. He's now back at Real Madrid. He was a fantastic player, being able to play at left back and right back. So I thought it was certainly best that we do look to bring him on, or bring him back, sorry. He's currently valued at €21 million. We can get him between 25 and 37. So I'm thinking €30 million should acquire Hakimi and bring him back to Dortmund to play at the left-back position. We have a massive €226.34 million to spend with a whopping €503,000 weekly wage budget. Now, unfortunately, guys, as we do get into the simulated game against Leicester, you'll see here the team is rotated a lot. And it's unfortunate because most of our players are away with international duty. So there's not much we can do about it. This is the best lineup I can put out. The bench is full of 60 overall rated. We're just going to hope that we do a decent job over Leicester and potentially get that first win, because it'll put us in a prime position to go on and try and get to the semis and also the finals of the Invitational Cup. Up top, we've got Marlen in the striker position. A little behind him, we've got Enis Bardi in the central attack and midfield. Then Guerra, Delaney, Dahoud and Larson through the midfield, with Smelter, Zagadou, Akanji and Klosterman at the back, with Berkey between the sticks. That's how we used to do it. I've got to read out how the formation is, because obviously doing the Liverpool career mode, it is slightly different. But as we head over to the central now, we can simulate this game against Leicester. You guys know the team that we are putting out. Let's advance, let's get the players warmed up, and hopefully get a win for our first game against Brendan Rodgers' team, Leicester, and we do. Larson scoring after just 11 minutes. Akanji picks up a yellow card in the 18th. Prayer then scored for Leicester City, bringing it back to 1-1 in the 24th minute. We had a yellow card for Silva in the 32nd, a few changes, and then in the 71st minute, Guerra, our left mid, went and put one in the back of the net to give us the final nail in the coffin and the win over Leicester City. We do go on to beat them 2-1. Great start to today's episode, great way as well to kick off Season 2. So up next, we're taking on Lyon for the second game in our Invitational Cup. Now, luckily enough for us, Lyon played Napoli and drew, which was perfect for us because had one of them won that game, we would have been level on the same points being 3 because they drew, they have won a piece. So Napoli and Lyon both with 1 point. If we simulate this game, which we are against Lyon, and we get the win, we are guaranteed a place in the semi-finals of the Invitational Cup, which is exactly what we want. We can then simulate the game against Napoli, try and get the win, but if God forbid we lose or draw, it doesn't matter as long as we get this next win against Lyon. Now, I don't want to take up too much time, guys, because I'm already looking over. We're already on about 20 minutes worth of recording. We've only simulated one game. I need to keep this rolling. There was a lot to talk about at the start of today's episode, and you guys have got to understand, coming back after 98 days, there's things that we've got to discuss. I don't want to not give stuff away that I should be owing you guys and things like that. We have to talk about the team. It'll take me a couple of episodes, just like Liverpool Creamer, to get my bearing again. Luckily enough with Dortmund, we're starting a brand new season, so it's great. I can just start a new season as if this was the first season, whereas with Liverpool, we have to start up already halfway through the season. It will take me a little bit of time, but for the lineup we are putting out against Lyon, it's exactly the same team. I have, unfortunately, no other options. So we're going with Marlen up top at the striker position, Ennis Bardi behind him in the central attacking midfield, Guerra, Delaney, De Hood and Larson through the midfield, Smelter, Zagadou, Akanji and Klosterman at the back, with Roman Berkey between the sticks. The team is not looking fit at all, and if we do unfortunately suffer injuries, we're going to be in serious trouble. But as the players warmed up, can we get 2 out of 2? Yes, we can. We batter them 3-0. Now again, Napoli, Leicester, Lyon, we're all in the same boat. All of our usual amazing starting 11 are away with international teams, so there's not much we can do other than put out our reserve team. But luckily enough, even doing that after just 1 minute, Larson scores, giving us that 1-0 lead. Akanji picks up a yellow card. Last time it was in like the 15th minute. This time it's in the second. Akanji really needs to buck up his ideas. Kone picks up a yellow card for Lyon in the 41st. We end the first half winning 1-0. Come out in the second half, couple of changes for both teams. Ennis Bardi then scores in the 56th minute, and then later on Guerra again putting that last nail in the coffin, scoring in the 71st minute. I do believe he scored in the 71st minute in the last game, but regardless, we do go on to beat Lyon 3-0, meaning we can now simulate that game against Napoli. They did just notice them down below beat Leicester 1-0. That puts them now on 4 points. We're on 6. It is going to be ourselves and Napoli going through to the semi-finals of the Invitational Cup. After the Leicester game, I checked to see if any of the players have been knocked out of their international duty and can get back into the starting 11. They hadn't. We then just beat Lyon, and I've checked again, and they still haven't. All of our starting 11, other than Roman Berkey, are out on international duty. I apologise if you can hear that playing. It is flying over the house very low. But it does mean, ladies and gentlemen, going into the simulated game against Napoli, regardless of the outcome, if we win, we go up to 9 points. If we lose, we stay on 6. Napoli will go up to 7 points, meaning they will finish top of the Invitational Cup group stage. But even if Lyon win, they can only go to 4. If Leicester win, they can only go to 3. So regardless of the other games, it is ourselves and Napoli going through to the semi-finals of the Invitational Cup. And I am once again putting out exactly the same team. We're going with Marlen up top in the striker position, Ennis Bardi a little behind in the central attacking midfield, Guerra, Delaney, De Hood and Larson through the midfield, Smelter, Zagadou, Akanji and Klosterman at the back, with Roman Berkey between the sticks. Regardless of the outcome, we are through to the semi-finals, meaning in today's episode we will be playing the semi-finals game. If we manage to win that, we could lose that, and there could be 3 simulated games in today's episode and only 1 game that I actually played. Depends how we get on in the semi-finals, and if we do win it, then of course we get to play in the finals, and hopefully we do get crowned Invitational Cup champions. Well, let's get these players warmed up. The fitness isn't great. Are we going to be able to do a job over Napoli? We are 1-0, but the worst thing happened, and the one thing I didn't want to happen has happened. So regardless of what happened in that game, Marlen scores in the 70th minute, giving us the 1-0 lead over Napoli. Only 4 minutes later, he then sadly goes and picks up an injury. I'm going to hope it's just a bruised shoulder or a bruised knee, and it's going to be 3 days, because if Marlen is out for a long period, we don't have Paco Alcacer. I'm not sure who else we have that can play up top. that is decent and going to score us goals going into the semi-finals and also potentially the finals of the Invitational Cup. Now I'm definitely in a predicament. Up next, we're facing off against the red side of Manchester, the Red Devils, Manchester United. Marlen, luckily enough, it's only a dead leg. He's out for 3 days, but we actually play Manchester United only 1 day after playing Napoli. We don't have another striker in the team, so I am forced to go over to the transfer hub and try and sign Haaland right now so we have a striker. And what a game. He's going to potentially come in, be thrown up top for us, and he's going to have to play against Manchester United. I'm hoping he's not going to be on international duties with Norway, because if we do sign him and he's away on international duties, we've just potentially shot ourselves in the foot and we're going to have to play somebody else up top. But Haaland is about to be a Dortmund player if we can make it happen with RB Salzburg. So first off, let's decide what type of deal. We just want to go straight transfer offer. And I will just throw, we've got enough money on the table. Let's throw 20 million euro out there. He's currently valued at 14. What are RB Salzburg going to say? They probably bought him for maybe 9 or 10. So they're making double what they actually bought him for. Let's see what they say. They want 21.9. You know what? Take that 1.9 million. We need a striker, so the 1.9 million extra spent is certainly worth it. Now let's negotiate a contract with them. Now, usually I like to talk to you guys about the transfers, but in this case, I have no choice. And a lot of you did say, Brad, in Season 2, would you sign Haaland, considering he is a real player at Dortmund in real life? So let's get down to the nitty-gritty of it. He wants to be rotation. That's fine with me. Of course, Alcacer is going to be our main striker. Then we're probably going to rotate between Haaland and also Marlen. We'll have to see how we go there. So we want to offer 4 years. I mean, I'm only here for another season anyway. So yeah, he's happy with that. Happy days. May as well leave the next manager with some young and shining up-and-coming stars. My client doesn't want that, fine for us. We don't want you to have a release clause either. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll counter. We'll remove the bonus. I will put up the signing bonus to 350k, leave you on 28.5, up from 24,000 a week current wage right now. What are we going to say? He wants 29,000 a week. Well, you know what? We are Dortmund. That is no problem, sir. We have now just made our first signing in Season 2. Haaland is on his way. Let's just hope now he is fully fit and he can play up top. He's not away with Norway on international duty. And luckily enough for us, Haaland is not away with Norway, meaning he is coming straight into the starting 11, and he is facing up against Manchester United in the semi-finals of the Invitational Cup. You can see the lineup there. We've gone with Haaland coming straight in, going up at that striker position up top. Enes Bardi behind in the central attacking midfield. Guerra, Delaney, Dahoud and Larson through the midfield. Smeltzer, Zagadou, Akanji and Klosterman at the back with Roman Berkey between the sticks. Guys, if you do feel today's episode is a little bit rushed, it's simply because I don't want you guys to have a 50-minute video. It'll take me a long time to render, take me a long time to edit, a long time to upload, and then a long time for you guys to sit there and actually watch it. So I'm going through this as quick as we can. Marlen was out injured. Paco Alcacer is away with his international team. I do believe he's Spanish. We didn't have a striker. We've had to make a decision. You guys wanted me to bring Haaland in. Maybe we've brought him in a little earlier than expected, but we've brought him in. And for his first game, he's taking on the Red Devils, Manchester United. What a debut this is for Haaland. Erling Haaland, the young man, coming in to take on Manchester United in the Invitational Cup semi-finals for his very first game. What a start to his career if we beat Manchester United and he does get on the score sheet. I want to say again, guys, I'm sorry if today's episode feels rushed. There's a lot for me to get through, and I mean a lot. Okay, we have to talk about the fan objectives, transfers, who we've lost, lineups, do the whole pre-season tournament. Now, we could have stretched this pre-season tournament, simulated those three games, and then that was it. That was the end of the episode. But I want to get through the whole Invitational Cup, the whole pre-season tournament in one go. So then in the next episode, we can start getting down with the nitty-gritty transfers. We can start getting into the season of the Bundesliga, Season 2. It's going to be a big one. And to be honest, when I look at Manchester United's team, they seem to be playing a lot of young players like us. But will Haaland shine up top for Dortmund in his first game as he gets us kicked off against Manchester United? Let's intercept that ball. Nicely done, Bruno Larson. Let's go. Go on, Haaland. I need you going now. Let's play that ball in now for Haaland to run to. Haaland through on goal. It's just wide of goal. 4 minutes in, his first shot, and he's nearly put it in the back of the net. And it's Bardi now going over to Delaney. I need to make that run. I need you to make that run. Let's make it now. Here comes Guerra. Guerra going to cut this back and whip it in towards the back post. Looking for Larson on the volley, who has just smashed that wider goal. Nicely done. Well done. Get rid of that ball. Good lad. Play it through. Here we go. Here we go now. Ennis Bardi. Round the back now to Guerra. Look at this. We are flying at Manchester United. We should really do something from here. Play it across. And Marcus Rocco's there to intercept it as I tried to play it back to Ennis Bardi on the edge of the box. And he needs to move there now. Let's play that out wide now to Larson. Bruno Larson coming forwards now. Got to try and do something with this ball. Needs someone on the inside. Over to Guerrero. And it's a save for Henderson. Should be putting that away. That was a great run though. Move forwards. Well done, Klosterman. Keep going. And slide in at his feet if we have to. Klosterman's caught the man there. That could be a red. I'm hoping it's only going to be a yellow. He's gone for the back pocket. It's a red. Lucas Klosterman is off. We have no right back. Nicely done. Interception there from Ennis Bardi now. Ennis Bardi going to play that through now to Haaland. Beautiful. Haaland over to De Hood. Go out wide now. And as we look to go out wide to Bruno Larson from De Hood, the referee is going to blow the half-time whistle. I would say we have definitely 100% been the better team. Unfortunately, just not able to capitalise on anything. We come very close, only 4 minutes in, with Haaland putting one just wide of goal. We do unfortunately have to jump back into the second half of exactly the same team. I'd love to make some changes, keep the players nice and fresh and fit. There's just not much on the bench that I can bring on. Let's go straight up the line now to Guerra. Beautiful. Guerra's on this one. I got Haaland in the middle. Nice up ball and looking for Larson towards the back. How have we put that wide? You only have to put that on target at the near post and it's in. Hands on the head. I've got hands on my face. That should have been a goal. We should be 1-0 up. Bardi through there now to Guerra. To Haaland. Flicking it over the top now for Guerra. Beautiful. Let's just feed a ball in there now for Bardi to run to. Yes, it's 1-0. Finally. Get in there, Ennis Bardi. Someone that we bought in Season 1. He didn't see too much of the pitch. But I think we might be able to change that in Season 2. We also do have the likes of Donny van der Beek. Couldn't really get in the team much. We may look to sell him and bring someone else in. I'm excited to see what you guys want me to do with the money in Season 2 and who you'd like me to bring in. But we have now taken the lead over Manchester United. Here's Guerrero. Going to play it around the corner there to Smelter. First time ball in to Haaland. No! Haaland! Put that one home! Here's Haaland. Flicks it up on his right foot. Oh, it's shot to the top of the net. Really putting some pressure on. We're going to win that ball and play it through there now to Larson. Larson through here. Find someone on the edge of the box if we can. Let's go to... tried to go to Haaland. It's now going to come to Bardi. Bardi's going to tear his man on his left foot. Right foot. Ennis Bardi's put it wide. Go to Haaland. Haaland's wanting to go here now. Let's go through to Gomez. Sergio Gomez on his right foot. It's a terrible shot in the end. We have now brought him on. He's only a youngster. I think he's low 70 rated. Well, people have told me he is a beast at cam. He's the next Marco Reus. So we may as well play him and potentially look at training him up in Season 2. Is Jordan Lukaku. Is Matic now darting forwards. Don't let him put this ball forwards, lads. Do not let it happen. Ball through now. It's a great save from Berkey. Now we're going to go straight out wide here now. Looking to get Bernick running onto this ball. Come on, Bernick. Keep it alive. Keep it alive. Bernick is going to keep it alive. Now what we have to do, slide it in towards the back post. Oh, it's too close to Henderson. Is Haaland going to do well to hold this ball up? Use your strength, Haaland. Beautiful. Here we go through now. Sergio Gomez over to De Hood. Got Sergio Gomez. I've got Haaland towards the back post. Haaland coming in. Haaland! Yes! A debut goal against Manchester United in the 90th minute. What a start potentially to his career at Dortmund. Right place, right time, on the volley, and he beat Henderson between the sticks. Erling Haaland scores in the 90th minute on his debut for Borussia Dortmund. What a way to score. Benenga, and there we go, we have got the win over Manchester United. 10 men on the pitch, Klosterman unfortunately getting sent off. Haaland scoring on his debut game for Dortmund against a difficult team in Manchester United. Should have scored there very early on. He got a great chance Great ball put through there from Larson. Unfortunately, he doesn't capitalise, but he does go on to get that important goal. He scores on his debut, and we absolutely battered Manchester United. Them having 2 shots, 1 on target. We had 11 shots, 4 on target. I would like potentially a lot more on target. With 11 shots, probably 6 or 7 on target. But we had a lot of young players on the pitch that don't have the best shooting, that were still trying to get into positions to try and score. So I have to take my hats off to them. Mohamed Dahoud does pick up man of the match with a 9.1 rating. And we do march on to the final of the Invitational Cup. I will be amazed if with this starting 11, including now Haaland, we manage to go 5 games and win every single game. Now, we are against our opponents that we beat for our 3rd game in today's episode, and that is Napoli. It's the final of the Invitational Cup. And unfortunately, after checking the team again, none of our international players are back from international duty, meaning we are having to put out the same team again. This time, though, we do have Marlen on the bench, potentially to bring on with that burst of pace. Haaland's got the strength, the physicality to actually hold off players, volley strong shots, whereas Marlen will get in behind those players, get one-on-one with the keeper, many opportunities, and because he's so fast and he's got a decent shot, 8 out of 10 times he will put it in the back of the net. But we are going into this Napoli game with exactly the same team. It has blown my mind how well this team has come in pre-season. We're going with Haaland up top in the striker position, and it's Bardi behind him in the central attacking midfield. Guerra, Delaney, Dahoud and Larson through the midfield. Smelter, Zagadou, Akanji and Mori at the back with Berkey between the sticks. May want to mention there that Mori has had to come in at right back, unfortunately, because Klosterman did pick up a red card in the last game against Manchester United, meaning he has a 2-match ban, meaning he's not available to face off against Napoli. I'm excited for this game. The game plan is to get out there, score 1 or 2 goals in the first half, and see out the second half. The players look at them. Other than Mori, nobody is fit. So as the game goes on, as it drags out, if at half-time it's 0-0, the players are going to start to struggle with fitness. We're not going to get as many opportunities. If we can get 1-0 up by half-time in the second half, I'll play Haaland as much as I can, and then I'll sub him out for Marlen and try and find that last nail in the coffin, that second goal that should put Napoli to bed. We beat them in the simulated game. Can we beat them in the game where we actually play? We've managed to get to the final of the Invitational Cup with this lineup. Couple of changes here and there, but realistically the same starting 11 from start to finish. We are yet to have our usual squad back, but it is going to be Napoli to get us kicked off in this first half period. Let's get it underway, and come on, black and yellows. Let's send it in there now to Larson. Beautiful ball. Here comes Larson now. Just needs someone on the edge of the box. Ball into Ennis. Bobby! It's 1-0. Yes! Good start. The game plan is already coming together. I said, the players' fitness isn't great. We have to start off well by half time. If we can get it to 1-2, 3-0, try and put the game to bed by half time, then at least fitness shouldn't matter too much. As to be taking the lead after just 7 minutes, I couldn't ask for anything more. Well done, Ennis Bardi, who has smashed it in this pre-season tournament. On the inside now to Ennis Bardi, who's going to get beyond once again. And here comes Ennis Bardi. He's going to be 1-on-1 with the keeper. Ennis Bardi, it's 2-0. This is going to be a goddamn cricket score. 11 minutes, 2-0. Bang, 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 bang. Ennis Bardi with the brace. I like Ennis Bardi a lot now. You know, he didn't get too much time on the pitch in Season 1. He's absolutely smashing it for us in pre-season. Now here's Haaland now coming forwards. Here is Haaland. Little dig towards the back post for Ennis Bardi to finish. It's 3-0. 3-0. 13 minutes. Ennis Bardi has scored a hat-trick in 13 minutes. There's a Kanji. Is Ennis Bardi once again going to play it around now. Looking for that ball through. It's not going to find its way through. Delaney now going to head this one. Here's Dahoud. Back to Ennis Bardi. On his right foot. Ennis Bardi. I'm not even sure what to say anymore. This is all about Charlie's comment. In the Liverpool career mode, we battered Napoli. And he said, incoming from Naples. The streets are the cleanest ever in Naples after Liverpool wiped the floor with Napoli. I cut it back onto his right foot. I bend it and look at that. Stunning goal. We are wiping the floor once again with Napoli. It's 4-0. I mean, I've literally said 6th gear from the start. Go, 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 go. And we have done exactly that. Beautiful. We've got the Hood again in the middle now. The Hood. Go over now. Surely not. Ennis Bardi going to play it over to Bruno Larson, who's unfortunately not going to get his shot off. I thought that was going to be 5. Here's Delaney. Here's Bardi. On his right foot. Looks to Ben one. Guerra's there. Dinking across. Holland! It's 5-0. Are we going for the biggest Dortmund scoreline in history? Here's Ennis Bardi. Guerra. The Hood. The Hood ping one over the top now, looking for Haaland to head on to. Honestly, couldn't tell you guys what's going on. 6-0 after 33 minutes. I have to say though, it's a walk in the park. It's easy. Watch Haaland making the run, pinged it over the top. He gets ahead of Koulibaly, then drops behind him, and he's pretty much heading one-on-one with the keeper. Haaland is a beast. And lads, after 2-0, the last nail was in the coffin. I'm pretty sure the referee is going to blow any minute now. Let's put that in behind now for Bruno Larson. A back post now. Beautiful ball in. Guerra going to take a touch on the volley. Come on! 7-0 half time. I don't even know what to tell you guys. Whether Napoli, I've got a tired team. But look, he just jogs in. Jogs his way into the box, takes it down, volleys it. It's 7-0 half time, lads. It's 7-0 half time. The referee has got to blow the whistle here. And I'm pretty sure as he does blow the whistle, the Napoli manager, the Napoli fans, the Napoli players will have wished that was the final whistle, not the half-time whistle. Absolute domination from Dortmund. We have killed them. 12 shots. 8 on target, 7 in the back of the net. I honestly did not expect that, and we are now going to make a couple of changes. Ennis Bardi, who has got his hat-trick, and now going to make his way to the bench for Sergio Gomez. We're also going to bring, I think I'll switch the Hood out wide for Guerra, and then take Guerra off for Julian Weigl. I'm happy to keep going with Haaland, who has insane energy. His stamina, it's only 75, but he seems to really hold his stamina back. He doesn't seem to do too much running because he's still got about half his energy left. We'll give him another 10-20 minute run. I'll try and get another goal from him, and then we'll look to bring on Marlen. Go there now, and then straight over the top now, looking for Haaland then behind. Takes a touch on the volley, near post. It's unlucky. 1-2. Go back to Gomez. Gomez going to get round this man. Gomez 1-on-1 with the keeper, and Sergio Gomez makes it 8. Sergio Gomez. Remember the name, ladies and gentlemen, especially in this season 2. Remember the name. Takes it around Koulibaly like he's nobody and smashes it in that top left corner. Here's Bellardi. They're going to cut back ball into the middle. Zagadu's there. It's clear to Mario Gaspar, who has skied it over the bar. And that is the closest shot they are going to come to beating the keeper. We'll just pass this round now as we give it to Bellardi. It's over. 8-0. Ennis Bardi. About 80% fitness coming into this game. 5 attempts, 4 goals. Wow. Delaney is going to be the man. Thomas Delaney will lift the Invitational Cup after we have just rattled and smashed Napoli 8-0. That is some of the best FIFA I have ever played. Here we go. Oh, hey! The first piece of silverware in Season 2, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that is a mark of many more to come this season. I certainly, at the end of the season, want to be lifting the Bundesliga to do the Champions League in Season 1 and the Bundesliga in Season 2. I will take it. We also, I do believe, have the Super Cup up next. I think just before the season kicks off, we're against Manchester United. We won the Champions League, meaning Manchester United won the Europa League. That goal there from the left, switches it back onto the right, bends it out of the way of 3 players, and then off the post. MassiveBrad, son, take a bow. You should have got a 10 rating. You did get a goddamn 10 rating, and fully deserved at that. 15 shots. You guys know me by now. I always want half plus 1 on target. Half of 15, give or take. If you're half 14, it's 7, so 7.5. So about 8 shots on target would make me happy. We had 10, so I'm absolutely over the moon. MassiveBrad gets a 10.0 and picks up man of the match, fully deserved at that. And we have finished pre-season. The Invitational Cup, the pre-season tournament is over. And we are kicking off Season 2 of this episode. And what a way to finish pre-season and start Season 2 at Borussia Dortmund. And there we have it. The pre-season tournament, the Invitational Cup, is finished. And we go on to win it by beating Napoli 8-0 in the final. You could not write it. The fans were chanting, "We want 9." We wiped the floor with Napoli. Tomorrow morning, I think the Napoli manager is getting sacked in the morning. I can't see him keeping his job after that absolutely outstanding performance from Dortmund. We may have just ruined his careers, and we'll have certainly dropped the momentum and the morale of Napoli, who are about to start their journey in the Serie A. We absolutely dominated. But before I end today's episode, guys, a couple of things. I made a couple of notes that I want to touch up on. Few players have now listed to the transfer list and also the loan list. Most of the youngsters, the low 60s, are going out on loan. Apart from Sergio Gomez, you guys told me. Someone told me, I think it was Chris, in the first season. When he comes back on loan, Sergio Gomez, keep him, train him up, and play him in the cam position behind Marco Reus and behind Mario Goetze. I've just played him in that game then, and considering he's only about a 70 overall rating, he was absolutely phenomenal, so he will not be leaving the club. But I want to leave this with you guys, right? I think after looking at the team, unfortunately, we did lose a player at right back. He retired, and we were rotating him with Klosterman. I can't remember off the top of my head who this player was. And I should really know his name, but unfortunately, I can't remember his name. But he was a long-time player who played for Dortmund. He's now retired. He said he was hanging up his boots at the end of the season, which means we only have Klosterman now and the young man Mori. So I think we may potentially need to look at a right back. But the other position, after looking at the team, is right mid, because if we do lose Torgan Hazard, we only have Sancho that can play there. As for the left mid position, how we currently stand is we're going to be playing. We've got Guerrero that can play there. We've got Brun Larsen that can play there. And we've also got Julian Brandt. For the season 1, we played Julian Brandt a lot at left mid, and he absolutely smashed it. So between them 3, I think they can handle it. When I look at every other position, we're covered, especially when we bring Hakimi potentially back from Real Madrid to Dortmund. He can go at left back and rotate with Schultz. But for me, we've now brought in another striker in Haaland in today's episode. So we've got 3 strikers in Paco Alcacer. We've got Marlen. We've now got Haaland. We are boxed off for the striker position up top. Haaland and Marlen had a great pre-season, honestly smashed it. Midfielders, what do you guys think about me selling Donny van der Beek? We brought him in to play in the centre mid position, but now I feel like how well MassiveBrad played then, how well Mohamed Dahoud played in centre mid. I feel like we are boxed off, especially because normally it's Witsel and Delaney or Witsel and somebody else that plays there. The fact we still got MassiveBrad then and Mohamed Dahoud to come in and play there is absolutely outstanding. But I think that is where I'm going to leave it for today's episode, guys. So please do drop some comments down below, especially with right backs and right mids. But drop whatever players you want, and there's no reason why we can't potentially look into them. I certainly wouldn't say a striker, though. I feel like now we've brought Haaland in, which was someone that you guys wanted me to bring in last year. We sadly couldn't because he'd gone to RB Salzburg. We now can bring him in. We've brought him in, and he's absolutely dominated. But that is good for today's episode, guys. If you have enjoyed it, please do give it a big thumbs up for me. Don't forget to drop your comments down below. If you're new around here, click that subscribe button. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. And I've been MassiveBrad. Peace out.